Alright, so this is a re-recording of the other video because I was way too quiet and you could barely see anything because everything was too blurry. But basically what I was saying is that I'm going to have two dummies right here, right? One is blue, one is red, right? They're facing away from each other. And what I did is that I first of all looked at the dummies, right? And you can see that if you click on the dummies, basically, pretend this is a player's character, right? If you click on the dummy, right, and you look at the character, look at the properties, right, and you look at the primary part, we can see that the primary part is set to the humanoid root part of this model. For character models, moving the humanoid root part with C-frame or positioning moves the entire character, okay? So keep that in mind. Let's go into the script, okay? So inside of the script, I referenced the first dummy and the other dummy. So I think the first one is blue, the other one is red, right? And then what I've done here is I've changed each of their C-frames, I've changed each of their C-frames components. Okay, so first of all, I changed the first dummy's C-frame. So basically in C-framing, right? C-framing takes C-framing can take two arguments, right? The first one being the position and the second one being the orientation. Okay, so what I've done is that I set the first dummy's position to the first dummy's position, right? I've set the first dummy's C-frame component to the first dummy's position, right? And I've set the second component to the second dummy's position. So what this is basically doing, right, is basically setting the character's position to where it's already at, and then the orientation to face the second dummy's position. So basically, if you were to put an object position as the second component of the C-framing, it makes it face that object. You know what I'm saying? So the first one makes it position wherever you position it to, and the second one is basically where you want it to face, if that makes sense. So I wanted to face that vector position, okay? So I'm gonna make the first dummy face the second dummy's position, and I basically do the exact same thing with the second dummy, but with the first dummy's position as a look vector, and the second dummy's position as the actual position. So now if I were to copy that, right, and then run the code right here, boom, you can see that they're now facing each other. If I move them over here and I run it, boom, they're still facing each other. If I move them over here and I run it, boom, they're still facing each other. So what I wanted to say about this is that there's different ways you can do it, where you can like make it so that they only face each other with this axis right here. Because if I move the character up, for example, like this, and I run the same script, right, they're facing each other, but now you see that the other axis, all the other axes, well, not all the other axes, but like the this axis, the red one, is also manipulated. There's a way where you can do it where they still both like face each other, but like they keep the same their own what is it, vertical axes, but they can still face each other with like the horizontal, if that makes sense. But I'll do a video going more in depth into it. But as for now, I hope this little core concept helps you make whatever you're trying to make. If not, let me know if you have any other questions besides what I just went over. I'll make a more in-depth video on this later on, but this is just a quick little tutorial. I cannot talk today. This is a quick little tutorial for you to understand the basics.